everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Subscription Boxes and More with Michelle. And I have a new one for you. What is it? Guys, the Flower Letters has a new collection. Here's what it's looking like. Instead of a white envelope, this time it's sort of a beige. And I don't know if you can see like all the details on it. It's still, because it's Flower Letters Company, it still has flowers, but it's still just a little bit different. It says, kindly deliver into the care of moi. And it's in really nice calligraphy. I'll see if you can see. I can cover it up a little bit. Looking pretty neat. All right, so not open yet, as you can see. Let's get her opened. I try to open these without ruining the envelopes because I do like to save them in their envelopes. And I even write a little number in the corner of the back so I know which one, you know, in what order that they go in, so I can go back and read over them. That's how I do it. I hope I'm not cutting anything important. No, I'm not. Come on, little scissors. You can... Okay. Sorry, I should have brought a drink in. Alright, so here we go. It's quite thick. There's a lot in there this time. Or it's folded up tight, I don't know. Alright, looks like several things. Alright, first there is a card that tells you about this collection. So let's read it. The LILY Clara, L-I-L-Y, Clara, C-L-A-R-A. The LILY Clara Collection is set in the western United States during the year 1884. Frisco, Utah's Horn Silver Mine is the most lucrative silver mine in the world. When spirited New York dressmaker LILY Clara Moore, M-O-O-R-E, answers a matrimonial ad, she heads west for an adventure that quickly turns out to be much more than she bargained for. Back then, mail order brides was a really big thing. That's how women got to go out west sometimes. There's a scandal afoot in Frisco, one that could bring down the entire Horn silver mine. When LILY Clara finds herself at the center of it, the only thing that can save her is her own tenacity and the letters she's been exchanging with very handsome Pinkerton agent Matthew Hickman. Throw in an outlaw chase, a vengeful vigilante, and a good old-fashioned Spanish treasure, and the LILY Clara Collection is a wild western like no other. Please visit theflowerletters.com for more details. Dear friend, welcome to the Flower Letters, a snail mail subscription that allows you to experience a thrilling story of history, mystery, adventure, and romance in a way you never have before. Over the course of the next year, you will begin receiving a story told to you through letters, 24 stamped, sealed letters delivered to your mailbox. That's right, the old-fashioned way. Each of our letter collections features a cast of characters experiencing a significant event or time period in history. You will get to experience their story through their letters mailed to you twice a month for an entire year. Here is what to expect. 1. 24 beautifully illustrated and designed letters delivered to you twice a month for 1 year. 2. 12 postcards delivered through the course of the year. 3. Several other fun surprises included along the way. You are receiving the LILY Clara Collection. We hope you will enjoy this unique storytelling experience. Sincerely, Michael and Hanny Clark. All right, so you know we've been getting the Audrey Rose collection, and I was giving you snippets of that story until it got to where every snippet was a spoiler. So we stopped delving into that story so that you could get it on your own and not have anything spoiled for you. And it was also spoiling it for me because I was opening them and reading them as they came in to you guys, bits and pieces, not the whole thing. And I was starting to get spoilers myself. It kind of messed it up for me. So, but we're going to start with at least this first letter, maybe the first 2 or 3, to give you just a taste of what's going on and hopefully get you excited enough that you want to invest in a subscription of your own. This is not a sponsored video. They don't even know that I exist, but I do exist, and we are going to check this out together. So first of all, we have on this beautiful stationery the first letter, and see it matches the envelope, and you know they're going to have the flowers throughout. And so that's what they're talking about, beautifully illustrated. And the different ones sometimes can have scenery and things like that. They're not always exactly the same. Here we go with a beautiful, beautiful picture. I would assume this is probably the picture that LILY Clara would have sent to her prospective male, man that was wanting a mail order bride. She would have sent this to him along with a letter to introduce herself, to, you know, sort of sell her, not sell herself, that doesn't sound nice, but you know what I mean, to introduce herself. All right, and then the back of it, it does have her name, LILY Clara Moore, 1883 on the back, and the flowers. That's a really pretty picture of a really pretty lady. You'd think she'd have absolutely no trouble getting herself a husband. All right, so that is that extra piece, and it says attention, read next. So I'm assuming we read this after we read the introductory letter, so we won't spoil that. But it's I'll show you the back of it. It's okay, and then it says read last, so we don't want to open this one yet. That one's even sealed. And then they said you get a postcard each time, and that's really neat. So you can do your own snail mailing, or, you know, collect them or whatever, but they are mailable. And then there is another thing in here that we will probably be discussing in a minute. So this one came with a lot of goodies, and that's one thing I was really interested in getting. The Audrey Rose collection. My grandfather had served in the Navy during that time, during Pearl Harbor and all of that. So I wanted memorabilia from that time, being my grandparents' time. But this is a little different. So let's just see. I have no real expectations, because I wanted memorabilia that put me there, like with my grandparents, kind of, you know. This, I'm just interested in just checking it out. My expectations are high that it's going to be really fun and really nice and a good story, well written, and, you know, with neat things like this. But, you know, what I mean is, you know, I'm not expecting certain memorabilia like I was with the other one. All right, that all being said, me babbling, let's go on to the letter. So this one was dated January 18th, 1884, and written by LILY Clara Moore. And it says, Dear Mr. Gambit. Is that Gambit or Gamble? Nope, Gambit. It's written. My fan got it in a nice, you know, script and things, but it's still hard for me to read. It's large, but I still have trouble seeing it. Dear Mr. Gambit, my attention was called to your advertisement by a dear and trusted family friend. Since you so generously expressed favorable inclinations toward an Irish heritage, I am endeavoring to inquire further. I am not Irish born myself. I am an American citizen. However, both my parents were Irish immigrants who came to America in '46 during the potato famine. I am 22 years of age, 128 pounds, and 5 feet 6 inches tall. My hair is red. My complexion is what one would expect from an Irish. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's like Begot, B-E-G-O-T, Begot. Colin, C-A-I-L-I-N, Kalin. I'm not sure, but the point is, it's in red. So you go to the site, and there's a place that tells you what these things mean. And, you know, that's a neat thing about the letters, is you get to learn some new things. Anyway, and my eyes are blue. My temperament is cheery and less provoked. I'm slight but sturdy and a becoming figure. I sing and play the fiddle some. I like fun and dancing when occasion permits. I am tidy and fashionable, sophisticated in my dress and toilette. and attended 1 year of finishing school. I mention this to assure you of no social embarrassment from me should we become husband and wife. These things were all very important back in the day, in the 1800s and before, and still today to some degree. As to my family, I have one sister. She is 2 years my senior and very dear to my heart. My father died when I was a babe, and my mother passed 5 years ago. Any other family I have here or back in Ireland is unknown to me. Regarding my industriousness, I am a dressmaker for the well-known clothier Madame Adelaide Lovelace of Lovelace Lodge and Millinery Company. Before her death, my mother worked as Madame Lovelace's assistant and secured me an apprenticeship there. After 5 years under Madame Lovelace's expert tutelage, I am now a master dressmaker, and my skills are sought after and admired in the highest circles of New York society. She doesn't seem very well suited to the West, in my opinion. In many ways, life couldn't be more agreeable, but I am very weary of the crowds, smoggy air, and day-to-day drudgery of city life. I long for clean air, wide open spaces, and the opportunity and adventure I read so often of in the West. Maybe I'll read this whole one because it doesn't really give any spoilers right now. It has been my ambition for many months now to follow my own personal manifest destiny and to bring my experience and the latest finery and fashions of Paris, London, and New York to aid in the civilizing of the more primitive towns and cities of our great country. If you find the enclosed photograph description of my person and my personal ambitions agreeable, I would be pleased to commence an earnest correspondence with you. This, of course, would be done with an intention toward matrimony. Lastly, I believe in being forthright and honest in my expectations from the beginning of our relationship. Consequently, were we to marry, I would ask for your most solemn promise as a gentleman to provide the following 3 things. 1, a safe, comfortable home where I am respected. 2, the means to set up my own dressmaking boutique in Frisco shortly after my arrival. 3, your permission to send for and provide a home for my sister as soon as we are married and settled. Having always desired children, I am certain I would make a devoted and affectionate mother, and as I consider matrimonial love more a matter of chance than anything, if you were to agree to the aforementioned terms, I would consider our chances of tranquil domesticity as good as those of the next set of strangers meeting in a similarly peculiar way. Yours very respectfully, Lily Clara Moore. And then about the things in red, it says, to learn more about mail order brides, matrimonial ads, and the terms highlighted in this letter, visit our Learn page at theflowerletters.com. Okay, so those things that are on the Learn page are in red. Things like manifest destiny, advertisement or advertisement, as they often said, potato famine, and that, I don't know if it's Kailin or Colin or what, Cailin. I'm not sure what that means, but that's the point of going and finding out on the webpage. So there's that. And then there's a thing that says read next. And so that would be this. Horn Silver Mining Company, Frisco, Utah. I would assume this is a reply. Let's see what it says. We may or may not read all of it. Dear Miss Moore, written April 2nd, 1884. So her letter was January. So it took from January 18th to April 2nd for the letter to reach him and him to reply. And who knows how long for it to go from back from him to her. Because, you know, mail took a long time. You talk about snail mail. It took a long time back then. Dear Miss Moore, having corresponded with you for the past few months, so there's other correspondences that we're not seeing. I am convinced a finer woman has never tread on God's good earth. I would consider myself mighty fortunate, indeed, if you would agree to be my bride. Well, boy, they come right at you with the spoilers from the first letter. If your answer is yes, I will, of course, agree to the 3 stipulations you stated in your first letter. Since I am fairly confident your answer will be yes, use the means I will wire to purchase a first-class ticket, a trousseau, and wedding finery. Leave New York on the 12th, and upon your reaching Chicago, I will provide one of my own men to escort you the rest of the way to Frisco. Don't worry your pretty head over spending all this money on your trousseau, Miss Lily. There's much more where it came from. And when we're married, I'll happily invest in your little dress shop as well. In fact, I'll begin searching for an establishment suitable for your business immediately. Hoping you'll be mine, Sylvester Gambit. All right, so now we see where this is headed from the first letter. Attention, read last. Gotta cut the seal. I hate to do that, but kind of have to. Trying to be careful. Keep it nice. All right, so this is a telegram. Continental Union Telegram Company. Sent by CR, received by FB. I'm thinking it says FB. 4:35 p.m., April 4th, 1884, Utah Central Railway Station, Frisco, Utah Territory. To Mr. Sylvester Gambit, I accept your offer and generosity gratefully. We'll be ready to depart on February 12th, as respectability demands it. Please have preacher ready to perform ceremony upon my arrival. Yours, Miss Lily Clara Moore. So we know where this is going, but we don't know what happens over the course of the year between this first letter and the last letter. So maybe we will just leave it at this first one, or maybe I'll give you bits and pieces. I'm not sure yet, guys, but there was something else. Let's find out what it is. C. Dahmer Groceries, confectionery and cigars, bread, cakes, pies, and lunch, meals at all hours, ice cream and lemonade in Market Street, Marion, Iowa. Try not to tip my table over. There's that side. And there's that side. Victorian trade cards. The print is a little bit little, so I'm going to take off my glasses. One of the most interesting and amusing things we discovered while researching for the LILY CLARA collection was the beautifully illustrated trade cards tradesmen and women often handed out to promote their businesses. They were especially popular between 1876 and 1901. You might consider trade cards the grandparents of today's business cards. Tradespeople purposely made them far too lovely to throw away. Consequently, many of their customers enjoyed collecting them for scrapbooks. We found so many beauties with such interesting and often hilarious advertisements on the back that we couldn't help sharing them with our subscribers. We hope you enjoy collecting your own authentic trade card replicas with each LILY CLARA letter, the Flower Letters team. So apparently there's going to be one of these little cards in every letter. So you'll get 24 of them. That is pretty awesome. Here, let me get it just a little closer without tipping my table this time. Isn't that pretty? That's going to be neat. So that and the postcards and the letters, and then any other bits and pieces of like recreated memorabilia kind of things. Look at this beautiful lady now that I can get her up there. Look how pretty she is. And this would have been the kind of pictures that were sent. Isn't that lovely? And then they did the flower letter thing on the back, and supposedly her signature. So, see. All right, guys, what do you think? I think this one's starting out interesting already. I mean, they hook you right from the get-go, don't they? I want to see where it goes. It's saying there's going to be all kinds of, you know, what well, just like a romance novel, there's going to be, you know, the good and the bad, right? There's got to be the drama. There has to be the suspense. There has to be the tension and all of that. I mean, I'm sure that this is going to deliver. It seems like it's going to. What a clever, creative way of giving. I think romance novels are a little tired, and they're also cliche and cookie cutter, stamped out. I got really tired of them very early on in my early 20s. I got to where I just couldn't stand romance novels anymore. I guess I read too many of them because they were all, you know, change the name, that, you know, just change the names, maybe the location, but they all go by a formula, you know, and they still do. The formula has not really changed much, you know, with your standard romance, whether it's historical or current day or even supernatural or whatever, or medieval. It all follows the same cookie cutter formula. Boy meets girl, girl meets boy, they hate each other, but there's all this sexual tension, but then they fall in love, but then something bad happens that breaks them up, but then they get back together and they live happily ever after. That's pretty much romance novels in a nutshell. I got tired of that. So this is sort of a new way of telling these stories. Sorry guys, I'm waiting on a doctor's phone call. New ways of telling a romance story that hopefully will cut out quite a lot of that. And you know, some of them get really kind of raunchy, and I don't like those kind of things. You know, I can say they kissed each other and, you know, kind of allude to that and without saying beyond the kiss, and use my own imagination. I have one of those. Imaginations. Imagine that. And I don't need all that. I mean, some people like it, and that's fine if that's what you're into, but it's not what I'm into, and that's not because I'm like so much a prude. Maybe it is, but I could, when I was younger, I could handle that stuff a lot more. Maybe it's because I'm an old lady now. I don't know. But this, I think, is really new and exciting way of doing it, and then you get the little bits of memorabilia and things from that time period. What could be better? And it's not on the TV, it's not on your computer, it's not on your phone screen. This is actual paper, and it's not terribly expensive. I think it's like 12 something a month, and you got to figure that they have to, you know, get paid for, they're making this up. They wrote the story, and they're gathering all the information, and they're printing up all the reproductions, and I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. That somebody's doing all this artwork. Don't begrudge them that money just because it's an envelope in the mail. There's a lot of work that goes into this, and I am almost midway through the Audrey Rose collection, and I am impressed. I like it. I'm going to get it through the year. I'll get this one through the year as well. Whether or not I share more of them with you than just this one, I don't know. I may. I have one more sitting on my desk. They came kind of close together, the first two. Anyways, all that to say, I think you'll find it interesting. If you like stories, but you don't have as much time to sit and read a novel, or you just wanted to try something new and you want to get your hands on some bits of history, reproductions of history, these are awesome. One of my subscribers did subscribe to the Audrey Rose collection and is really loving them, though she's not able to see them real well. And I've promised her that I would read them to her. So we're going to get in touch with each other, actually, and I'm going to read mine to her because she's not able to see it very well. So, making friends, making videos, and hopefully making you a fan of the flower letters. And again, they're not a sponsor. They don't know I exist. I'm not even a blip on their radar. Alright guys, tell me what you think. Was that interesting? I think it was. I hope that you will be hooked enough that you'll go and check them out on theflowerletters.com. I'll put the link down below. And there's 2 stories now. I don't know if they have any other ones coming, but they have 2 at the moment. And it seems to me like they're both going to be mighty interesting. The Audrey Rose ones really are. So anyways, or just stop by and say hi. You know, we're friends, and I love to talk to my friends. please give me that big old thumbs up. You know, it really helps my channel. And please subscribe. And please share my video with others so that maybe they might subscribe as well. And thank you for watching and listening to me babble. And I'll see you again in a moment in another video. Bye, guys.